Sheesh.
I'll pound you on the
Yeah,
back.
right. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Ryan, have you ever had a side hustle?
I have.
Yeah?
I didn't call it that back in the day. This is many moons
Back
ago.
in the day.
Yeah, many moons ago. I
Okay.
did a lot of coaching on the side, outside
Nice.
the teaching hours. I did it because I just enjoyed it,
Hmm.
but it was nice extra income. So I guess some people would coach as a side hustle to make money, and hopefully they like coaching too. So
Okay.
I did a lot of coaching, probably for the first 8 to 10 years of my teaching career.
Nice. That's a
Yeah,
while. So you did coaching because you liked it. Why
right.
else would people do some sort of a side hustle?
That's a good question. I think to pay off debt is probably one of the biggest reasons. They
Yeah, I
just
would
want to
say
get rid of
that's
that debt.
probably number one for me.
Yeah, side hustle. Let's get rid of those school loans if you have them,
Hmm.
so you can get closer to being debt free.
Yeah,
Um, and then after that, it gets a little more interesting why someone would want a side hustle.
right.
What are some thoughts that you have about
I think you could have a side hustle for maybe some investing or even some fun money.
that? Okay,
Right? Maybe I'm doing some sort of a side hustle so that I can go on a vacation,
I like it.
right?
Yeah,
So
or
yeah,
buy a mountain bike maybe.
buy a little extra
A
toy, right?
little mountain bike. You're like, I want that $1,000 mountain bike or whatever mountain costs.
Perfect.
I'm gonna work a couple weeks for it.
Yeah, make a little side money.
Yeah.
So I think the we live in a society where side hustles are kind of a norm, I guess
Yeah,
you could say.
they're becoming popular, very popular.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, a lot of people have lifestyle creep where they have this side job, they have their normal 9 to 5 job, and now their life depends on this side
Side
hustle.
hustle. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to avoid.
Hmm.
For example, if you're getting this side hustle that's paying you maybe $10,000 a year on top of your full-time
Salary.
jobs,
Yeah.
let's say you're making $50,000 and your side hustle brings in 10,000.
Hmm.
Do you want to buy a house, for example, off that $60,000 or $50,000?
Yeah, that's a good question because I think when you break that down, you're now dependent on that extra 10,000. You've given yourself a second job
Yes.
and not a side hustle.
Yeah, and they're different. You don't want to have to do the side hustle or the
Yeah.
second job. So my our opinion is live off your teacher's wage if possible.
Hmm.
Of course, if you have debt, then that's probably why you have a side hustle and you're just trying to get rid of
Crank it
it
out.
so you can live off that teacher's wage. And then enjoy the side hustle for what it should be for, in our opinions, is for fun, to invest so you can maybe become financially independent sooner than later,
Right.
for charities or causes, but not to inflate your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's super important to put out there. So here's the thing. You mentioned coaching. What are some other easy things that teachers can do as a side hustle?
yeah, within the school, they could sub for other teachers. A lot of
Nice.
schools allow that.
Yep.
Saves them money, and that might give you a couple $100 a month or whatever it could
Yeah.
be. You can be a club sponsor.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. In the art world, we have art club. So I get paid a little extra when I do art club, right? There's a ton of clubs that you can do at your school, and you might have to talk to your admin to make sure that there's a little extra money that you can get paid for it. But it's a great opportunity to one, connect with the students again and also make a little extra money while you're already at a spot. It's not like you have to go to a second job.
exactly, and try to find a side hustle that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
Ideally, you might like the restaurant energy, so if you might like everything that goes on. So if you could do that as a side hustle and then maybe get more hours during the summer, that's a great way to bring in some extra money.
Nice. Now, you talked about the summer there. You just brought up the summer.
Yeah, summer.
Have you ever heard of teachers pay teachers?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a really good. Yeah. Explain to the audience what that is.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's a website that teachers create their lesson plans and then sell them, right? And so if you've got the summer opportunity, you're not going anywhere, you've got a little downtime. What if you took a little bit of your summer there and finessed, a little fine tune, polish up your lesson plans so that you can sell them, right?
Yeah.
We already do these things at school, at work all day long, where we create our lessons and present them, so we know where we can tweak and we know how the lesson goes. So
I love it. Imagine you spend 10 to 20 hours in your summer taking your top 5 or 10 lessons.
Hmm.
Well, if it bombs, who cares? You tried it, move on to the next thing. But it might not bomb. You might be able to bring in extra money. And this will be passive income that could come every month, every week,
Yeah. Yeah.
however often teachers buy it offline.
Yep.
So you have nothing to lose but 10, 20 hours of your time. And then you can scratch that off if it doesn't work. But there's a good chance it'll work.
Yeah. We always have new teachers coming in. They need ideas.
Yeah,
You've got the ideas, so share.
exactly.
I always tell my kids sharing is caring. So share your ideas. We've got teachers that get a little bit stale, so they're just looking for new ideas. So teachers pay teachers.
I love it. Another thought is temporary services.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I did a lot during college
Nice.
because when I had an open week, I could just go do some random job for extra money.
Cool.
Or during winter break, I would work somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no commitment outside of that. So
To
for a
show up.
teacher, maybe you want to only work 2 weeks of the summer or 3 weeks. So you don't want to like sign up for like a full-time job during
Yeah,
the summer.
that makes sense.
So if you work 2 weeks at a temp service during the summer, you might make an extra $1,000. It might be brainless. I'm sorry. Hopefully they'll at least let you listen to music or something.
At the end of the year, sometimes we just need to calm down and do something
Yeah,
brainless.
we like brainless. That's funny you say that. I remember a teacher that used to mow lawns every summer.
Yep.
He didn't want to think. He didn't want to interact with anybody. He did enough of that during the school year. He put on his music, sat in his big old driving lawnmower, and just like got paid. So
Perfect.
That's a good point.
That's a good side hustle.
Yeah, cutting lawns for the school district, actually.
There you go, even more.
All the different fields and things.
That's right. So take a look out there, see what kind of side jobs, side hustles that you can do. It's even one of those things when 2020 was a thing, I got a second job over at Home Depot, right? I used this job to pay down some debts. I started my master's degree at the same time, so I used the income to pay for a chunk of that degree. But it's just part of the thing.
Yeah.
Another side hustle that I've done is this company will send you little emails, and you just take a little short quiz, do a little website review, and they pay you $3, $5, right? It's not much, but you're not taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do anything. And so they pay you for it. And
do you do this during class while you're like, hey, everybody, get to your work? You're like, I'm making $5 here.
That's right. No.
I
do this before school, after school.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, exactly.
But it's just one of those things. Even my wife sells patterns on Etsy.
Smart.
Right? She's made little crochet blankets and then sells the pattern on Etsy. So it's a thing. There's a ton of opportunities, a ton of options.
Unlimited.
For side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can think it, it's possible. Be creative.
Exactly. There's a couple of resources that we'd like to mention that talk about side hustles.
Right. Chris Guillebeau.
Good luck spelling that.
Yeah, nice French name. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Right.
I practiced before we did this recording. But he's written a few books about side hustles. So he goes into depth about side hustles. He gives you really practical advice how to approach them and go about them. Mm-hmm. And he also has a podcast. It's called Side Hustle School.
Nice.
And they're real quick clips, like 5 minutes long. And he picks a side hustle. He talks a little bit about how to go about it, gives some advice, and moves on. They're 5 minutes long. So Chris Guillebeau.
Okay.
You've read one of his books.
Yeah. He did the $100 startup, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And once again, $100, that's not much. It's not like I'm looking for $5,000, $10,000 to start a business. It's $100 to get cleaning supplies for window cleaning or something like that, right? It's minimal money.
And we want you to stay in the classroom, but if you start a side hustle and you start enjoying it and it takes off, this could be your new full-time job. Yeah. You were telling me a story about someone that was watching dogs. Is that what was going on?
Yeah. So he started off as just doing pet sitting. And he got more and more clients coming in, and he actually ended up doing like a doggy daycare at his house. So he had the room, right? It's not like he's at my house. Yeah, he's got a big backyard. So he did a doggy daycare, and that's all he does now.
Yeah.
So
you never know. Some of these things could take off where we want you to stay in the classroom, but hey, you have options potentially.
That's right. So I think once again, lots of stuff. We do encourage you to use the side income to pay off your debts. Don't let it increase your lifestyle,
Right.
right? Live on your teacher salary. Enjoy the side hustle money.
Yep, exactly. And if you want to retire earlier, then you put some of that money towards your investments and maybe you shave off a year or two of teaching
Perfect.
from all this extra work. You can look at it that way too. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It's your money. You
It's your
get to
time.
decide at your time. So
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah. I think that's a great place to end, Ryan.
Yeah, I agree. I would just end with like, think of it as fun. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Think of these
Yeah.
little experiments, even, you know, devote 10 or 20 hours to teachers, pay teachers. If it doesn't pan out, whatever. It's not a big deal. Try something else.
Yeah.
So just have some fun with it.
That's true. Cool.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.